It's one thing to have an opinion based off what you see. It's another thing when essentially people make things up. As I say, I'm from California. We go off the paperwork. Let's go. This motion got filed because the detective lied and said I made a statement in back of a police car, stupid. That never, ever happened. Stop trying to make me one of those boys. Laughing emoji. Death before dishonor. This way, kids. Let's get to it. In the Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Jeffery Williams, defendant. Motion in limine number 19 comes now. Mr. Jeffery Williams, by and through undersigned counsel, and hereby files this motion in limine number 19 to prohibit the prosecution and all of its witnesses, including Detective Quinn, from announcing his wrongful belief that he met with Jeffery Williams and the back of his police car concerning a murder case. In support of this motion, Mr. Williams shows as follows. Mr. Williams is innocent of any and all charges the above referenced indictment. Based upon information and belief, the prosecution and some of its witnesses, including but not limited to Detective Quinn, may wrongly state that Mr. Williams was in the back of their police car at some point and gave information on a murder case. Same is untrue. However, same also places Mr. Williams' character in issue by being in a locked police car and having information on a murder case. This evidence must be excluded because same is 1, not accurate, 2, places Mr. Williams' character at issue, and 3, is irrelevant to the trial of the above referenced case. Supposedly, Mr. Williams was a very young man at the time of this supposed interaction with law enforcement. One of the reasons why they say that, when they say they put his character at issue, because they're essentially saying he associates with murderers and all this stuff. And that right there would basically help bolster their case when you're talking about, hey, bro, young thug this, young thug that. But one of the worst things that's going to come from this is this. Those who over here saying that he wrong and all this stuff, bro, listen, if there was a murder case that young thug supposedly told in, bruh, they would have came out and said it. Somebody would have showed some paperwork saying, look, man, young thug told us this, young thug told us that. So unless there's some interrogation tapes that exist or somebody's willing to come on record with their paperwork and basically say Jeffery Lamar Williams got in the back of that squad car and he told on me, that's not going to sit up there and fly. Because at the end of the day, we still need something that people are pointing to, something that they're leaning towards, some type of murder case that he opened his flap on. And since we're not seeing any of that, we're going to have to go ahead and come to the same agreement, right, you guys? All right, let's get into it. Y'all want to know one of the things that has happened that nobody talks about as much as they should? It's the cameras now. It is the cameras now. Because we're now in a day and age, and I want to say it was like 2016 is when the massive force for cameras and in-cab cameras and all this stuff became a thing. Because what was going on was that police were getting caught for lying, which cops can technically lie, even on paperwork. So this is ultimately really what happened. Thug ain't say nothing. But the question that then becomes is, well, what did you say? Because at the end of the day, he said something. Now, if he didn't say anything, he didn't say anything. Could the cop have misremembered every single time? Y'all do realize when a cop fills out paperwork, they have the ability to modify the paperwork. They go through and they look at the actual body cam footage and then they modify it to basically make it fit whatever they wanted to fit. So as far as Young Thug goes, bro, nah, we can't do that one. Y'all can have your opinions on the freaking interrogation footage and all that stuff and everything like that. That's cool, but this one right here, that's not that. Nah. I can't do that one. I can't. Even if I hated Young Thug, and I keep telling y'all, we fair, square, obvious, and honest over here, bruh. Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that one. Because what does it serve to spread lies like that? Because now what it looks like is scorn. Now, for other people, they're going to run with it. They're going to run it into the ground. They're going to say, hey, he must have said something and all that. And I would see where they're coming from with it. But at the end of the day, They got that suppressed because the cop was lying. It was proven that he was lying. This is why they push more for those cameras to be in the back of the cab of the squad cars, because a lot of things were going on. You would have people beat up. You would have people swallowing drugs. You would have certain conversations that were had and certain conversations that weren't had. So at the end of the day, nah, we can't do that one because it's not being fair. The one thing that the audience that we've built, the visionaries in particular, one thing we're going to do is we're going to be fair. If it seems as though there's a bias that exists, then the bias will be addressed. It will be said, oh, we have a little bit of bias because this is favorable. Even with Young Thug, one of the things that they're pushing right now on that interrogation video was, hey, they pushed to not have this come in. You know? And one thing that Pee Wee Roscoe won't tell the people is basically this. Hey, man, y'all know I basically got up out of there because the judge had did me wrong. So Ashley Merchant went in and put belt to ass on that judge. So that judge that they had was already bad. The judge basically led him astray, and that's why Pee Wee Roscoe got out. It wasn't because of anything else. Wasn't because of anything else, bro. I know people want to say certain things and they want to flip it a certain way, and they got their gripes about Young Thug. And one thing I'm not going to say, I'm not going to sit up here and say, hey, bro, Thug, you did people right, because we all do people wrong, whether we know or we don't know. That's one of the biggest things that happened. So I ain't going to hold you. As far as it's concerned, as far as I look at it, bro, if we're going to tell the truth, if your lawyer is saying this person lied and the judge agreed that this person lied, bro, they were about to allow over 900 witnesses in for the state. The threshold to be allowed in there was at the bare minimum. We literally had a witness on the freaking stand say this. Yeah, I learned about LA gang culture through, what did Dennis say? Through watching Boys in the Hood and South Central and Menace to Society, basically. Like, bruh, that's a good sketch, but you got to walk them streets. You got to be out there. You got to know the people. You got to go talk to those individuals. You got to go fly down to LA and basically get with the gang experts. Watching a movie ain't it. And then it's funny because what they would do, essentially would rotate who's the expert this year. Oh, Gaither's the expert this year. Dennis is the expert this year. Viverito is the expert this year. Belknap is the expert this year. They did this for years. But I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know who could end all of this stuff? Hey, that boy Gunner. Gunner's the only person that can end all this. This is why people like me were saying from the jump, let that stuff with Gunner go. Leave it be. You put your pride to the side. With Lucci, you had a little baby hugging Lucci when literally Lucci is caught on camera with his homeboy in the car trying to shoot at little baby's people. Allegedly, I don't know this to be true, them cats over there, YSL, shot at freaking YFN Lucci's mama house twice. Y'all can get over that, bruh. Whether you think he's disloyal, whether you think everything else like that, bro, as they always say, and if you study the damn 48 laws of power, turn an enemy into a friend. They'll be more loyal to you than any friend you ever had. Subscribe, turn that bell, stay notified. I'll catch you on the next one. Reloaded.